Well, time for another Discount Tire Tech Tip of the Week with the Professor Sandy Ganz, and of course it has to do with tires.
It does. And this Tire Tech Tip of the Week, I don't know how that flew out pretty good. I don't think I could get that out again. Tire patching and plugging, what it's all about, what it means to you, and why you should be careful of it. Today we got one of the high-performance tires that we have floating around the shop.
Low profile, 80 series.
Firestone 500. This is one of the tires in the day, was a big recall. But we keep this stuff around because we always have a use for things like a 30-year-old tire here.
And we're too lazy to throw it out. And as I keep saying to Donnie, when are we going to get our monkey mascot? And when we do, we're going to need a tire swing. And we'll be crying the blues if we threw away all these old tires.
I got a whole nother idea. The boot camp show. When we start getting into shape through the tire mates, it's going to be hot. Anyways, here's what we have here. This tire seems to have picked up a couple of drywall screws because somebody just dumped them out into the driveway.
Well, they're all over the place.
They're all over the place. Anyways, there's a couple of kind of things that you can do to a tire to fix a nail or a bolt or something that goes into the
puncture wound.
First thing to note is you want to make sure that you're only repairing things on the top of the tread. Anything sidewall down here, you got to get a new tire. If you ding something or get a bolt somehow on the side or a screw, the tire's worthless. Don't try and patch it. Don't listen to anybody. Dangerous. The top tread is the only place that you should consider patching a tire. And remember, your life depends on this.
And the life of your family.
That's right.
And hold on, possibly my life if you get to blow out and T-bone me and my family.
That was a Chips episode, I believe.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this is a typical drywall screw that's got embedded into the tire. And the first thing you got to do is get the nail out, or screw in this case. And there's two of them here just to illustrate how bad the driveway is full of this stuff. And you're going to have to break it. You're going to have to pull that thing out.
Yeah, I would. Here's what I would recommend.
That's a nasty.
If you do get a drywall screw, though, they can be brittle. So what Sandy just did there could oftentimes break them up. Well, you can turn them if they're threaded.
Yeah, or by the way, if you're in a situation where you got to get going, push it in. Remember, the plugs I consider kind of a temporary fix. You can drive on; they're fine. I would definitely take your tire to a discount tire place or your local place and get a patch put in. It's a much more permanent way to repair a tire.
Yeah, and Sandy, you're not a fan of the fix-a-flat type of material.
By the way, fix-a-flat is great if you intend on just getting yourself going and getting
to the next filling station.
If you leave it in a car with aluminum rims, expect for those rims at some point to be corroded. It happened to the Mini Cooper that you had. We pulled the rim apart, and we couldn't figure out where the air was leaking out of this new tire we put on it. And after a while, we started looking at the rim. It was severely pitted just by the moisture that was in the goo. And it may not be something that's all characteristic of the tire goos, but whatever was used in your car caused the rim to definitely degenerate and become pitted enough where air actually could seep through it, which was weird because you wouldn't think they would get that corroded, but it does.
I would have been more upset about it, but it was after I sold the car to Donnie.
Yeah, so you're going to say whoever owned the car ended up fixing it, so to me it didn't matter. One of the things that you'll see is the tire plug, and really what it looks like is...
Ganz, I can't believe your cousin did not get stoned and eat at least 3 of those.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of a...
it's jerky meets duty.
Yeah.
It's Judy.
Judy.
Well, it's a sticky... I mean, it looks like poo, but it tastes like... No, I don't know what it tastes like.
I wouldn't want to put this in my mouth.
Right. And Ganz, you'll eat anything that looks even remotely close to meat, right?
Meat or jerky. You know that I would try it if I was at all hungry.
Right.
Now, what this basically is just... kind of an impregnated rope with some odd silicone or sticky patch material.
Sure.
And all you're going to really try and do is plug the hole.
Right. And then when you put the air in it, the tire is going to expand around it and essentially choke it.
Just lock it in.
Make it airproof.
And the tool that we use is really it comes in a kit, and they have these at auto parts stores, and you could carry one around in a car if you're prone to tires getting nails, you work on the construction site.
Or if you're prone to threatening hookers.
Hookers, and they throw the spikes out.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a gigantic, looks like a gigantic split sewing needle.
Yeah.
And all we typically, need to do is figure out how to get this thing through the center of it, which is going to prove to be probably harder than.
Maybe you thread it through there, and then when you pull it out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go that easy, but it might.
Oh, chalk one up for the Ace Man.
Ace Man, yeah. And by the way, first time we're doing this because we don't.
We have people who do this.
Yeah, people that take care of that. That's usually me.
Center it up. I've just seen it done. I've never done it, but you center it up, and now there's a little lube that goes along with this action.
Yeah, it's a I want to call it a Vaseline.
Everything is petroleum based, and by the way, like I guarantee the stuff that I pay $11 for at the salon that comes in a thing that's this size. It's this plus a little yellow dye number 7 and a little scent number 14. That's it. Everything's just petroleum jelly.
Yeah, and it says just lube it up.
Yeah. All right. So this reminds me of Dr. Drew. Anyway.
Well, so you're missing the snap of the inspection glove. Yeah.
Right. So we'll lube this thing up, and again, if you have any extra, you just weave it right into the hair.
Before we do that, we got to get the reamer in the hole.
Get the reamer.
In the hole.
That was my nickname in junior college.
The reamer. The chicks dig it.
Yeah.
This is basically just to clean out
that hole.
Clean out the small hole that may have steel belts in there. And to make it so it's probably as close to the right size as it can be for jamming that threaded gooey stuff in.
The reamer's what you use as a weapon, by the way. And I would reckon that you turn that as you do it.
Yeah, I think the main thing is to just, you gotta ream the hole.
And by the way, if the air is not out of your tire at this point, it will be.
Why don't you give it a shot and see how that goes?
Now, normally I lube up my hole, but so be it. Now, I think, what if I should do that?
Cram that in there. But don't go all the way through. That's the key.
I know, but that's going to be difficult.
All right, you're going. All right, and then stop.
All right. So stop there. Now, theoretically, when I pull this out, it'll split the prongs and I'll get it out.
Yeah, see if it works.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
So what we have now, besides the goo that's in here, and we'll just...
Save that for my hair.
Don't worry, I got a jar full of it. We're almost done. And the last thing you want to do is you don't want that piece of...
jerky
hanging out of your tire as you're rolling around. So you pull out the machete. And this is a dangerous cutting blade that comes in all the kits. And you just... cut it flush to the tire.
And there you go.
And the main thing is that when you push that plug through, it's thicker than the hole that you reamed it out. So it will constrict around it and get tight and kind of glue itself in.
Right.
I think that's the idea. Again, this isn't as good as a professionally placed patch, which is done with taking the tire off the rim, gluing it in, and then putting it all back together.
I have been to filling stations. I know I sound like I'm in Mayberry now. Ordered a soda pop. But I have been to filling stations and had them patch the tire this way.
I think everybody at some point.
But the best way to do it is to take the tire off the rim and patch it from the inside
Absolutely.
out.
It's a good idea to really take it to a professional tire place and have them put in an inside patch and have them rebalance and mount your tire. This is a great tool to have. Like I said, if you do a lot of construction or get nails, drywall screws, roofing nails are the worst.
Well, if your neighbor does a lot of construction and you're constantly driving through it. Yeah, roofing nails are bad because they have a huge head on them that makes them sit upright.
That's what the A-team used to use in that...
when they throw it out the back?
Yep.
Well, good enough for the A-team, good enough for us.
Yep, so that's a quick patch for the thing, and this will get you down the road and take it to a pro, let him wrap it up the right way and safe way.
That's right. Well, thanks to our sponsor, Discount Tire, on this one. And again, there's your tire tech tip from the Ace Man and the Professor.